Back now to our coverage marking the anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. CTV's Vanessa is live from Medyka, Poland, right by the border with Ukraine, with more on the anniversary. Vanessa, we know how much Poland has been a key ally in all this, taking in more Ukrainian refugees than ever. What's happened there today to mark the anniversary?
Well, Nick, this is a pedestrian crossing, and a year ago today, it was such a stark contrast to what we're seeing today. It was absolutely chaotic. There were thousands and thousands of people cramming to get their way, desperate to get into Poland with what was happening in Ukraine. And there were a ton of tents set up with supplies and clothing and food. And today we still see a couple of booths. There's a UNICEF booth next to me here to welcome anyone who needs help. And, you know, there's booths to help people get set up with a SIM card and that kind of thing. But it is much quieter today. Any traffic that you see right now is mainly locals going back and forth with supplies and to see family members. The Polish Red Cross, though, says that it has seen an increase in Ukrainians coming into Poland this week, though, and that's because of this somber anniversary today. We spoke to people who got off of a train from Kyiv who say that they feared more attacks by Russian forces. And so that is why they've come into Poland for a few days. We spoke to a mom and son today who came from Kherson. They actually came last March, and they've settled here in Poland. But last week they decided to go home to get their dog, and they had hoped to stay. But they said that the situation is still so unsafe. They had to come back today. And while they are so grateful for all the help here, it just simply isn't home, and they are just so desperate to be able to go back when it is safe. Nick.
Yeah, displaced, but they don't know really when they can go back. So that's an interesting perspective from the Ukrainian people that you've been speaking to, Vanessa. But I know you spent a few days in Poland, and I wonder what the perception is or the mood is amongst the Polish people about the significance not only of the anniversary, but the war. I mean, it effectively comes right up to their border.
Well, absolutely. And when you consider how much it has changed this country, there are between 1.5 million to 2 million more Ukrainians that are now living in Poland than a year ago. And Ukrainians have been given the same rights, more or less the same rights as Polish citizens. So they can work, they can access health care, the kids can go to school. And what we are sensing from the Polish people is still that welcome with open arms, that they really sympathize with the people. We spoke to people who are taking in families, and it's been weeks and months now, and they said that they're going to continue to do it for as long as possible. There really is that show of solidarity here. We've spoken to the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs earlier this week, and he said that Poland must stand with Ukraine. It's not just about Ukraine's independence, but it's about democracy, and they fear that they could be next. So I think there's just this feeling of solidarity that really Ukraine must win this war, and while it drags on, the people need to be looked after. And I think that there's just so much sympathy, so much empathy for the Ukrainian people, and so really we've seen a lot of heartwarming stories here, Nick, and yeah, this has just been such a welcoming country to Ukrainians.
Yeah, incredible to see what's been on display in Poland over the last year. Vanessa lives in Medyka, Poland. Thanks for joining us, Vanessa. Appreciate this.
Thank you.